There's another matter before the Biden administration this morning. It continues to urge American travelers to wear their masks after a judge struck down the national mask mandate on planes, trains, and other forms of mass transit. A federal judge in Florida ruled yesterday the directive was unlawful, saying the Centers for Disease Control did not have the power to order that mandatory mask use. John Northcott is with us with more on the story. So more from the ruling, John, if we could, out of that Florida federal court and some of the reaction we've heard so far.
Yeah, indeed, Heather. Good morning. The legal aspects of this being that this is from 1944, the use of the word sanitation, and this judge saying that sanitation referred to keeping things clean, and not in the way of prevention of disease that we're seeing with the intention of having to wear those masks. That's the legal side. The bottom line is that there is potential confusion in the United States. Transit systems, for example, Washington, D.C., will no longer require masks. The transit system in New York and New Jersey will continue to require masks. A number of airlines issuing edicts that they will no longer require masks. On the other hand, the flight attendants union very concerned about this because they are in the business of enforcing them. Some say relief, others say concerned about the safety of their employees in a situation where there is this confusion from members of the public with different airlines taking different approaches to all of this. From the White House, they're concerned. Let's have a listen to spokesperson Psaki.
Some people can still wear a mask if they want to. Many people do, or wear them in meetings, or wear them at certain times where you're going to be around or sitting close to people, or maybe you have an immunocompromised parent or friend, and so people make that decision. And this is based on health considerations and data that the CDC looks at about transmissibility as we've seen an increase in cases on airplanes.
No comment so far on this from the Centers for Disease Control. Also, no comment from the Justice Department. And this could be one of those, not only because the Biden administration has favored masks, but also because of the rulings over powers the federal government has in instituting health regulations, might require the Justice Department to say, you know what, we got to take this up the line, up to the Supreme Court. The judge that made this decision, a former clerk of Clarence Thomas, he, of course, on the right side of the U.S. Supreme Court with the majority of the right on that, but still, we may not have heard the last of this case yet. Heather?
So this is playing out in the United States. Why don't we look to what the situation is in Canada, John, because there is still some confusion here about travel and masking rules.
Yeah, especially when it comes up to returning to the country. We are required as Canadians for traveling on trains and planes and international travel, at least originating in this country and then landing in this country. It'll be interesting to see what happens to those who come from the United States. But this is a situation where when you return here, you have to dig into what is essentially about 9 pages, and that's not even including going through the various aspects of it when you click through to further information. But when you come back into this country, you may not know this because lots of people have been coming back into this country from traveling. You have to wear a mask in public for 14 days, indoors and outdoors. Maintain a list of all close contacts. Monitor yourself for symptoms for 14 days. Now that is if you have negative tests and you're simply returning. If you test positive, you have to isolate for 10 days, report test results to PHAC, and also provide test results to officials, federal, provincial, municipal, whoever they might be, if they ask for them. Worth noting in all of this that if you don't follow these regulations, you could be liable for a fine of up to $5,000. And I'd be willing to bet a lot of people watching who may have traveled recently probably didn't wear a mask indoors and outdoors for the full 14 days after coming back. A lot of them might not even have known that that was required of them, but those for now are the rules in this country. Heather?
You are absolutely right about that, John. Thank you very much.